Hey guys, welcome back to my CLK55 AMG. In previous steps, we washed the exterior of the car, including the paint, the wheels, and the engine bay, and now it's time to take the next steps in the detailing process. So now that we've gotten all the big dirt, grime, debris off of the paint, we're gonna need to go in and polish both the paint and the wheels. So if you guys come a little closer, I'll explain to you exactly what's going on. So we have the big aftermarket 19-inch Lorenzer wheels here. I'm not crazy about them. They're pretty beat up. At least they're clean now, so they look better than before. But there's still a lot of oxidation, spotting, just a lot of contamination on there too. If you guys look here, this is supposed to be like a mirror, and you see all these little like specks and dots on here. So that's a little, definitely not the way it's supposed to be. So we're gonna wanna restore that. And all these little crevices down here, you'll see some browning and just a lot of spotting all over. So I'm not a huge fan of these wheels, mainly because of the condition, but I'm thinking maybe once we use some heavy metal polish and restore them, maybe I'll like them a little more and maybe I'll want to keep them on the car. So in order to do that, I'm going to be using heavy metal polish. This is a great choice because it's the more aggressive choice in our metal polish line. So we do have light metal polish and heavy metal polish, and heavy metal polish has abrasives. So it does a great job at doing removing all that heavy dirt and grime and everything that needs to come off there. Light metal polish works by a chemical reaction, so it does not contain any abrasives. So we're going to be using that today with our ball buster. So the ball buster is just a tool that attaches to any standard drill, and what it does is it uses the power of the drill to clean and polish your wheels or any metal surface. So if you look here, see that? I don't have to do anything. My arm is not sore. I just use the power of the drill instead. So what we're going to be doing today is first using a microfiber applicator like this to kind of take care of these broad flat areas, because if you look at the shape of this applicator, it's flat right here, which means that it's flat right here, so it's perfect for touching these areas right here. And then if you look at the shape of this tool right here, it's conical, and it's more angled, so it could get inside of the spokes in these areas right here better than a tool like this. So I'm going to start off with this one, get the broad areas, and then move to this. All right guys, just finished polishing up the wheels and they look amazing. I'm super happy with the way they turned out. They actually have a mirror finish now, which is pretty incredible for considering how they looked like before. It wasn't that hard considering I had the power of my ball buster. It was actually pretty easy. And they look really great for being almost 16 years old now and a neglected and harsh 16 years. Believe it or not, this car actually had 5 owners, which is absolutely terrible. And I made a vow that I'm never buying a car that's like over 1 or 2 owners again, just because people don't care about it. They drive it for a couple years and they give it to the next person. They give it to the next person, and it keeps going on like that, and then you get really neglected cars. So that's what happened to this car. Luckily, these were able to clean up. You see that there's still some like permanent damage and stuff on there that obviously wouldn't come out, but for the price I got for the car, I think they look really, really amazing. So to make the mirror shine pop even more, I'm going to be using tire and trim gel, which is just an oil-based dressing that I'm going to be applying to the tires. They're going to make this black tire look even more black, even more rich, and kind of bring back the shine that they once had. We already cleaned these tires when we cleaned the entire wheel that like you guys saw in a previous video. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply them just like this. And you guys will instantly see it get darker. Not bad. There's still some white in that one. not bad at all. These are looking really great, especially now that I've applied that tire shine. They look pretty much, I don't want to say brand new, but pretty good. I'm proud of myself. So now that these look like this, we're going to go around and do the other 3 tires of the car, and then we'll move on to the paint, which is super exciting because I'm really curious to see what this color looks like once it's cleaned up.
1, 2, 3.
All right, guys, so now that we got the wheels nice and polished, it's time to move on to the paint. Now, as you guys know, we already washed the paint and got all that heavy dirt and grime off, but now we're ready to proceed to the next step, which is going to be decontaminating the surface. Now, when we washed the car, what we did was we pulled off all the surface grime and debris that was kind of just sitting on the paint and needed to be kind of like get a gentle push off. So what we did was we used our chenille microfiber mitt to just push all that gentle dirt and grime off. But what happens when a car sits outside, especially for a long period of time, is there's actually contaminants that embed into the clear coat of the paint. So these can actually be like sharp, if you were to look microscopically, they're almost like sharp little objects that shoot into the paint and get stuck there. And no amount of scrubbing of your chenille wash mitt is going to get them out. So what we're going to be doing is using a very sticky clay bar, which actually glides over the surface. And when it hits that sharp contamination, the sharp contamination sticks into the sticky clay bar, and then you pull it off like this. Now you have the contamination here on your clay bar, and so what you do is you periodically throw your clay bar away, restart, and then you have a decontaminated surface. It's ready for polishing, it's ready for a ceramic coat. So we're gonna get started on that now. I actually have Joey here who's gonna help me because believe it or not, even though it is a 2-door car, it's still kind of big and I'm on a time crunch. So let's get started. All right, guys, so Joey made a great point. You don't only feel the contamination, you can actually hear it. So as he's rubbing his clay bar over the surface, let's take a listen. What you guys are hearing is the clay bar gliding and catching on all those surface contaminants, and that's why it makes that noise. If you were to think of rubbing your hand over sandpaper or something, you'd audibly hear that. You would hear the noise that his hand makes rubbing over the sandpaper. Now, if you were to take that same hand and rub it over, say, a mirror in your bathroom, you're not going to hear anything. And that's the goal with what we're doing here. We want to turn it from a sandpaper noise to a more of a mirror noise, if that makes sense. All right, Joey, do you hear anything?
Nope, nothing at all.
That's right. That means I'm done. That means the surface is nice, smooth, and decontaminated, and we can move on to the lower parts of the car, which are going to take the same process. All right, guys, so I just finished claying the glass. As you saw, I did the paint and then the glass. If you didn't know, you can actually decontaminate your glass as well, which is great because you don't just want your paint smooth, you also want your glass smooth as well, which helps water beading on your glass, helps your wipers work a little better, etc. It's definitely something that you guys want to do if you don't do that already. So now that the glass and the paint is decontaminated, we basically are working with a bare painted surface. So that's great and all, but Octavio, if you come over here, come check this out. Once you look closely on the paint, you'll see a lot of scratches and swirls and stuff like that. So I don't know when the last time this car was polished, if it ever has been polished. The guy who owned it before me definitely didn't polish it. What's great about this color is it does hide a lot of swirls and scratches. It's kind of like a brownish silver. So from a distance, it doesn't look too bad, but as soon as you get close, you see that's super scratched up. It looks like there's nothing too neglected, but it definitely bugs me when I get closer, so we're going to want to polish that out. What we're going to be using is P4 and C4. One's a compound, the other's a polish. The compound is first going to get out all the heavy scratches, all the heavy swirl marks, and then we're going to go in and refine it with P4, which is a polish. So I'm really excited to do that because I think the color is really going to pop on this car once we do that. And I've never seen what it looks like clean. So super excited. So let's get started.
Every time I need a rescue, hanging on the verge of breakdown. Even though I try to replace you, but loneliness makes me break down. Every time I need a rescue, hanging on the verge of breakdown. Waiting for a touch, you say no day. Nothing could really take your place. Every time I need a rescue, hanging on the verge of breakdown. Even though I try to replace you, but loneliness makes me break down. Every time I need a rescue, hanging on the verge of breakdown. Waiting for a touch, you say no day.
All right, guys, so Henry and I just finished up polishing up the entire car. Let's have a look at how it looks. Octavio, come look at the trunk. We got rid of all the main scratches on there. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. This is an interesting color because you get a reflection and you get a little bit of a shine, but it's not black. It's not a dark color. It has its own unique characteristics to it. I would say it shimmers more and it has a lot of depth rather than a lot of reflection and shine. If you look up here too, Octavio, the roof, I remember the roof was a place that had a lot of scratches, so it's looking really great now, really improved. Just C4 alone was enough just to get off all those main scratches. It's interesting that the scratch and swirl situation on this car, the car was like, internally, it was neglected, as in there was a lot of mechanical work that needed to be done to it. But the exterior was in pretty good condition. There were no like glaring pieces missing. There were no dents or like humongous scratches. There were just a lot of little scratches. Maybe the car just sat for a long time in a garage situation or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I'm really glad with how it looks now. Octavio's getting this great shot of this kind of double hump of the headlights, which I think is great. After we removed all the swirls and scratches, you see, it really brings out this curvaceous hood. Kind of harkens back to the classic Mercedes with the two headlights here, but it's a little smoother than those older ones. So now that the car is looking good, I do see a few little sprinkles of polish. Just sometimes when you take the polisher off of the paint, it flings. And so we're going to wipe those off real quick and then we're going to move on to the next step. The next step is going to be protection. So basically how the car is right now is it is devoid of everything. It's devoid of squirrels. It's devoid of swirls, which is great. The car is also devoid of any protection though. So what we want to do is definitely put something on it so it remains scratch-free for as long as possible. So my choice to protect this car is going to be Carbon Force, which is a 5-year ceramic coating. Now the reason why I chose this ceramic coating, a couple of reasons. Number one, I love the shine that this brings. So this has an intense crystalline ceramic shine that you really can't get with any other product. So I think it's really going to make the lines pop on this car and bring out the curvaceous nature of the hood, like I was saying, these flared fender arches, and just the overall classic design of the Mercedes. So that's one thing that I love about it that I'm really looking for. The other reason why I'm going with this product is because of its insane protection. So 5 years is a long time, and although I love washing my car and it's one of the joys, simple joys of life, the problem is that I live in an apartment, so I actually can't get around to it much. What I end up doing is taking my car to the coin wash and just like hosing it down, getting all the main dirt and grime off, and then waterless washing it after that in my common driveway. So the great thing about Carbon Force is it makes all the contamination, the water spots, the dust, the debris just kind of slide off your car. And if there's any remaining dust and debris, it's really easy just to take that pressure washer hose at the coin wash and just rinse everything off really fast. So that's why I love this product. It's going to be great for me. It's going to make my life a lot easier. And then the third and final reason is because of the crazy hydrophobic properties. So there's nothing like water beating of a ceramic. There really isn't. And it's just the best for keeping your car clean. It's the best for driving safe and making sure that you have great visibility at all times. And that's going to be the third and final reason why I'm picking this product. I could go on and on and on why I would choose this. It's super easy to apply. As you guys are going to see right now, there's really not much to it. Even though it is a true ceramic coating, it's pretty easy that even someone clumsy like me can do it. Yeah, so there's a bunch of other reasons, but those are my main ones. So I still have Henry here. I was able to capture him a little bit longer, so he's going to help me apply this, and then we're going to be ready to take it on the road. There's actually a big car show tomorrow, so maybe I'll be able to take it there.
Don't do it tonight. If we gon' hit it, baby. Don't do it tonight. Don't do it tonight. Don't do it tonight. Things are getting complicated. Nothing's gonna stop this shit from sinking down. Think we need some mediation. I did it all for you. How do I fall for you? Baby, 12 and down, you're dodging all my phone calls, baby. I asked you, you already.
All right, guys, so me and Henry just finished ceramic coating the CLK 55 AMG. It looks amazing now. I can't believe the amount of shine that it brought out. I didn't think that was possible on this color, but I'm really happy with the shine and the reflection now, as you guys can see. We were able to ceramic coat not just the paint, but a lot of other glossy surfaces as well. So we did the headlights, which is great for visibility. We did the glass, and we did all the shiny chrome parts around the car too. So that was super neat. The other thing that kind of stood out to me when I was applying this was I forgot how easy it is, Carbon Force is to apply. It is a 5-year ceramic coating, but it's honestly not that much harder than a wax. It goes on really easy. The cure time is only 30 seconds, so it's really fast. And then you just buff it off and it comes off super easy. It's so easy I could do it, which says a lot. But yeah, it looks amazing. So the only way to show you guys even more how it looks is by pulling it outside and showing you in the natural sunlight. So we're gonna do that right now. So let's do that. All right, guys, we pulled it outside, and as you can see, the shine is incredible. I really can't believe that it turned out this great, and the wheels are actually blinding me. If you look down here, the reflection of the sun on them is actually I have to look away, it's so bright. So, thanks so much for joining us on this series of the exterior of the CLK 55 AMG. So until then, make sure to like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.